Hey, there's
Go.
nothing wrong with what we're doing. You're allowed to message
So
people
if you
on
walk
Facebook.
up and down that
No,
little
this is
slot
episode 2.
inside of Lavender Town, you can eventually run into a Mew. You can catch him if you have a Master Ball, but you can't use the Master Ball. You have to use Ultra Balls instead. They have to be in your third slot.
I know. I actually figured that out on my own when I played it on an emulator because I'm too old.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting when you play it nowadays because you think this game's too fucking easy.
Okay.
This is a Pokemon podcast. Can we do that?
What is happening?
Tell us more about the Red Gyarados. Statistically,
What?
it's the same. It just has a different picture.
What?
The red.
Is this really a thing? I didn't know there was a red Gyarados.
Oh yeah, it's the only one to get.
Are we doing crack or something? Didn't get the memo? Or crocodile?
Well, to be fair, me and Spence have both been drinking, and you guys haven't. So I blame the fact that we're not all four talking about Pokemon on YouTube.
Okay, I mean realistically, I just want to see Pokemon in a battle area. I'm gonna find this video and show it to you. It's great.
All right, I'm going to start crocodile.
You know what I saw? What I thought?
Crocodile. Yes.
He just wants to end it all, but be really happy while he does it.
You guys have a lot of nerve walking around on that.
Please don't ever play this again. On the grass.
Cut it out later.
Yeah, please stop playing this. This is.
My turn to attack. Hey! What are you doing?
Charmander, you're supposed to take turns attacking. Screw that. This is a fight. I want to win. Now hand me that shiv over there. But Charmander, hand me the shiv!
No! Okay, wait! You guys win! I surrender! Caterpie fainted!
I love
Yeah, that was a thing.
Caterpie fainted. Caterpie. Hand me that shit.
Hello and welcome to Learn to Wargame, the audio podcast. Today we'll be talking about the Galleon and the different ways you can take it, and maybe even the Earthbreaker if we get time. My name is Brandon, or PG Mulus on the forums, and I play Unknown at the moment.
Unknown?
I play Khador, Convergence, Menoth, Mercenaries, Trolls,
I believe
Legion.
You own those. You don't
That's
play
true.
them.
I don't think I've ever seen
I'm
a
working,
video.
that's why I don't know, is whatever I pull out of the bag next.
This is Max, Age of Egos on the forums, and if you come to DACA, I'll ban you.
That's true. I'm also HV goes on the forums, and I ban everyone I see.
I'm surprised he hasn't caught on yet.
No, he knows. He
It was
knows.
on Facebook.
He threatened to ban Max. And Max like, you can't ban me, I'm HV goes.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Spence, go ahead.
Is that me?
Hopefully.
All right, I guess I'm Spence today. I play very badly Scorn. I'm getting my ass kicked by brand new Cygnar players. It's awesome, and
Play even
Menoth.
worse, Menoth.
It was so funny. It's like I'm gonna run my Bronze back up and it dies one turn. I'm gonna run my my Gladiator up, it dies one turn. I'm like, well, you got your whole force and I've lost all
18
my base. It's a 25-point game. I don't know where it's gonna go from here. Let's go ahead and see. It was great.
And do you go by anything on the forums?
I'm just Spence on the Privateer Press forums and Age of Egos on the DACA forums.
Okay.
This is Jeremy. I go by Lord Fool on most forums. And fuck salt.
Fuck
Except for on
salt.
DACA, you're also Age of Egos.
DACA, Jeremy.
No, I'm
Age of
still Lord
Egos.
Fool on Daka Daka.
Now you said fuck salt. Do you talk shit on Total? I don't talk shit on Total.
What about Greg?
Greg's going to fucking jail.
And now we've lost all of our audience.
Everyone is now trying
Just
to figure out
people
what
named
we're
Greg.
talking about.
3 people.
Just
Yeah.
people
Brandon,
named Greg.
Spence, and one random guy
Jake,
who downloads
Jake,
this.
Jake and Trevor both listen to this.
I love
We
you, Jake.
have
I love you, Trevor.
multiple pairs of listeners at this point.
Like I think
multiple
that
pairs.
Those are my favorite people. The people that listen to this podcast.
Now, to be fair, I think a lot of people do listen to us because the last episode we recorded, a lot of people copied us.
That's true. We talked about the new spoilers, and everybody was like, "That's a good idea. Let's do that too." Like, all right, guys, figures.
We beat them to it!
Fucking copycats. Why didn't they record an hour after it was spoiled, and then immediately edit it?
It's kind of like we know their recording schedule.
I
Did
know.
you seriously claim that we edited anything? There's no editing
No,
on
we
this
added
podcast.
music. That's editing.
Oh,
We did it in post.
Thank you,
I
Colin.
added a lot of obscure censoring. to the
Why is
last episode.
Ashland at 17?
He added crickets.
I noticed
'Cause
one
she's
area where
broken.
I
It's a
censored. It was
dumb
hilarious.
stat line.
Yeah, it was just like,
they
hey, I'm
complain
going
she
to the
dies.
bathroom.
What?
It's like, yeah,
I'm like,
People complain she dies. She's terrible. She gets killed. I'm like, she's a 17-15. Like, if you get her killed, I feel like it was a positioning error. They're like, no, she's got to be, like, ahead of your army. I'm like, I feel like you're playing wrong. Like,
She needs reach.
I loved it that I did that. I charged Borka into the massive dudes. And Parker's like, are you trying to lose? Like, it's Borka. He's like, you don't have anything on him. I was like, yeah, he's naked with no fury, but it's not, that doesn't matter. And then he took no damage, and Parker's like, this is dumb. Like, why is he that good? Like, it's like, Parker, don't get mad. You're just jealous.
does Parker listen to us?
I
No.
don't think so.
Why not?
He's got a baby.
I don't care. Like, he can listen to it while the baby is doing its baby shit.
His baby's allergic to noise.
why didn't he listen to it
Can
at
we
work?
do this?
Yes, sorry.
Yes, it's extremely appropriate to be playing in a high school or
Yeah.
junior high, whatever.
Never
which
stopped
one
me.
he
I
works
don't know
in.
what you're talking about. He works there, yeah. I thought you said playing.
Well, yeah, he can listen to it at work.
Oh, okay. All right, so talking about the Galleon first, we'll probably get to the Earthbreaker at some point. Starting off, we're going to go through some solos in the faction that have obvious synergies with the Galleon. Alexia, Mistress of the Witchfire, it's Alexia 2. She has Arcane Vortex, so she can cancel spells targeting on models within 3, which can keep your Galleon safe. Going down some more. Counter Synergy, don't leave Eris 2 next to your Galleon. Gaston Cross, which we'll probably cover a little bit more in a minute.
Don't leave Eris 1 next to your Galleon either.
Well, it's less
She
of a
loses
problem.
her activation.
It's less of a problem for the Galleon, though.
Yeah.
Gorman de Wolf, you can black oil your own Colossal, which, due to the timing rules, will prevent your opponent from black oiling because it doesn't reset the timer and it will expire at the end of his turn. So you can prevent black oils coming in.
Makes him Def 5, though.
Gotta get hit
Dirty
by that.
Meg? Or is she just repaired?
Dirty Meg does that. All the Jack Marshals, we'll just cover right now.
Yeah.
All the Jack Marshals, if you had them on a second Warcaster or on a Journeyman such as Gaston, then if they die, the Jack Marshal can reactivate them. They don't become in control of it, but it does turn the Ward Jack back on.
So
let
it's
you
autonomous. It
activate
can walk around and
Yeah.
do normal shit.
Right. I can't speak.
Master
today.
Gunner?
Master Gunner
There you
Dougal
go.
McNail has a range booster and artillerist, which is very nice for the Galleon.
Pretty much default.
Yeah. Orin Midwinter can prevent spells as well, in a way. Ragman can give it Dark Shroud.
Don't forget the bookworm.
The Boker can shield guard it. That's
Moorclaw.
all I really noticed at the moment.
Moorclaw can fix it.
Terran can let the Galleon see through enemy models, potentially with Shadowfire. Units beyond the obvious of if the Galleon drags something to it that you could then charge. Ion and Holt can give it magical weapons. Everything else should be pretty self-explanatory, like positioning with units to protect it. It should be obvious.
Fire Dwarves can put 3 useless clouds in front of it.
That's true. They can put 3 useless clouds in front of it.
Just take boom howlers. That's all you just
Just
need
take
to do.
boom howlers. Okay.
Nah,
Then they can't shoot it because they have to shoot the boom howlers first.
yes.
So,
Mm-hmm.
we'll probably save Gaston for last, and we'll talk about him with the 2 different factions. The 3 different factions he can be played in with the Galleon. Yeah. Okay. So, starting off, top of the list, we have Ashland Delise. Actually, let's talk about the Galleon stats real quick, in case you didn't know.
If you don't know the Galleon stats,
It is Speed 5, Mat 6, Rat 5, Defense 9, Armor 19. It has, Spence, how many boxes?
fuck, I don't know. It
He's like
has
56, 58, something like that.
36 times 2
3,
minus
4, 5, 6,
Oh my God, don't do
7,
this. 58. It's
8,
58 boxes.
9, 10,
It's 58 boxes.
How many in
11,
movement?
12,
It is
13,
rolling.
14,
Jeremy, please stop.
15, 16. Oh. He only has 16, folks. Sorry.
He has 3 ranged attacks, 2 of which are gun ports on opposite sides, which have fields of fire. Range 14, AoE 3, POW 13, guns that have D3 shots each. And as its harpoon cannon is on the right side, range 10, POW 15, and has the drag special rule. He's got 2 different melee weapons. On the left field, he's got the Cargo Claw, which is POW 19, open fist. The right side, he has this Trident Strike, which is POW 21, no special rules.
Can I point something out real quick?
Yeah,
that I
go
just
ahead.
noticed.
What's that?
The Galleon is actually the only one that cannot make a 2-handed throw.
That's true. Is it the only one?
I think so.
Huh. We might have to look into that later.
What else can? Everything else can.
The Archangel.
Yeah. Has 2 claws.
Does it really? Then they count as open fist? Huh.
I never
The
considered that.
Blightbringer?
What about it?
I don't think it's going to have 2 open fists, but anyway.
Well, that's another episode.
Ashlyn DeLise. Talking about her synergies with it, Admonition does not help it. Distract can be useful. Gallows can pull people closer to it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Roulette can help.
Quicken.
Yeah, the +2
Quicken.
speed.
It's like snipe.
Can she quicken it? Oh, it is model. I thought it was
50% of a snipe.
And it becomes 11 defense against range attacks.
11.
I feel like that does not help as much.
Turn it up to 11.
You know, it's free with the +2 speed.
Her feat is very nice, though, for helping it gain accuracy. So, rating her within the faction of models that we have that can actually take the Galleon, we've got
Are we seriously
12?
rating like that?
12 Markcasters, I think. Let's
Yeah,
see.
but not
1,
that
2.
many can take.
How we boys.
So we've got 12. All right, so we're going to rate Ashlyn as, let's just start off as a 7. I don't think she's particularly good.
Got it. Bart.
Bartolo Montador.
A lot of people think he's really good with them. Tell me why he's not.
Why he's not. All right, reasons he's not good with the Galleon.
Because he dies.
Um,
End of story.
I think a problem you'll see is that he is only focus 6 is honestly the biggest downside to him running a Galleon, which means he's got to be fairly up on the board, and he's commonly spending a lot of focus.
Well,
And Silas doesn't really help him anywhere.
Silas does, because he's always going to be up keeping hot shot, but
Yeah.
I mean, it basically makes him focus 7. Cloud doors are a big help since they came out. Really, your downside to playing Bard is that he's the weak link. Like, he makes the Galleon so good. Like, let's go through it in case we just talk about how good he is. Batten down the hatches. Models in his control area that are in his battle group get +3 defense. +3 armor, -2 defense, and cannot be knocked down. The +3 armor on the Galleon is awesome. It's arm 22. Broadsides can make the Galleon shoot an additional time with its harpoon or any other gun you want. Dead weight can delay enemy models from coming into your Galleon. Hot shot, auto boosted range attack damage rolls is amazing. And then his feat is just huge for protecting the Galleon. Like, everything he does, he wants a Galleon. I think we should just rate him at number 1 and change it if we disagree later.
Okay.
It'll
Go
just
for it.
save a
Go
lot of
for it.
rewriting.
go for it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Damiano.
Damiano. Starting off,
He...
Convection is technically a synergy.
Kind of.
Deadeye's good.
Deadeye is also technically a synergy. Forced March is only units, so no. Surefoot, not really. Warpath, kind of, because the Warpath can be
Surefoot's
triggered.
good. Because
Yeah.
it puts a big area for
Yes,
your models to get the +2
Right.
defense.
It's not helping the Galleon specifically, but the Galleon is a good footprint to put. The Galleon is a really good footprint to put Surefoot on because it's going to spread it around a lot of your models.
Yep. His feet's good.
Strength armor, yeah, it's a nice trading thing. If they bring their Colossal up, you can go in and pretty much fight anything with it. It makes it your Galleon POW 24, arm 22.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I think that was only units or warriors?
No, it's definitely his battle group. Like he actually runs a pretty mean heavy battle group if you can afford to run it.
Oh no, that's Drake's feet. That's
Yeah. Warpath is nice because the Galleon can trigger Warpath for other people. All right. So what do you think about Damiano? Do you think he's better than Ashlyn, probably?
Ashlyn
Ashlyn didn't really do a whole lot.
He's better than Ashlyn because
Yeah, I don't see Ashlyn really wanting the Galleon.
Penciling him at a 6. Captain Phineas Shea.
no,
What?
he's just not good with the Galleon at all.
He wants a Galleon a lot of times because he can still spam a lot of dudes. The Galleon's efficient shooting, and it gives him armor cracking against things that aren't troops. But
Okay, I strongly disagree with Shea doesn't want a Galleon. I'm going to start coup de main, +2 movement, Phantasm,
Well, don't
friendly.
forget, charging without spending focus points.
Right. Yeah, so he can charge without spending focus. He gets +2 movement when he does so. So it's basically boundless charge for a Galleon. It only costs 1 more. Phantasm, you try and shoot at the Galleon's -5 range. Like, that actually matters because a lot of high-pow guns aren't over range 12 usually, maybe 15 or 14. So it's like, now your Ravgors are range 9. Are you going to move your Ravgor within 9 to shoot my Galleon? Because I'm just going to kill it. And then it's like, oh, I can't really do anything about that. Not to mention that my Galleon will just straight up charge 10 inches plus reach. Veil of Mist, you can drop Veil of Mist to let him move through jamming models. and his feat is not helpful.
Okay.
It can't move out of the
Phantasm may sometimes be somewhat helpful. I don't think it's really that big a deal. Coupe de Main, the Galleon's not a model that you're going to charge with. It's not.
That's not necessarily true.
Yeah, you may find some time
The army you're playing this in, you need a heavy hitter, and Mercenaries don't have a heavy hitter other than the Galleon, the Earthbreaker.
Shay does like the Galleon a lot of times.
I just can't understand that. That just doesn't make sense to me. How he's not just going to stand there and just going to shoot the whole time and drag something in and then keep going. It's what it does.
You charge with the Galleon quite frequently when you need to.
I guess that's just a colossal thing, maybe. I just can't see Shay wanting that over.
So why do you take Adjudicator to shoot or to melee?
I take Adjudicator to shoot.
Okay, but do you charge things with it when it's optimum?
If I charge things with Adjudicator, the game's already mine.
That's not true.
That's entirely true.
Would it be yours if you didn't charge?
I can't fathom that. Why is it up that far?
If you took Adjudicator and it had the ability cannot charge, cannot make melee attacks,
I would still.
Would it be worth 18 points? Cannot make melee attacks is it worth 18 points?
No.
Exactly.
But that's not even.
Sometimes
that's not the
you need
discussion
it to
we're
do
having
that.
right
It is
now.
this discussion I'm
It's
having.
not. It's not. Okay.
Because charging isn't necessarily a terrible thing when you're accomplishing the goal you need to. Like you absolutely need the POW 21 sometimes. Look at the faction. Like I know you don't play mercs.
Like
they have nothing over POW 17.
I understand that, but it's like you're gonna drag it in then.
If sometimes you can't like if he's same high wall, you can't drag him in.
Okay, now as opposed to
Yeah,
just looking
but
at
there's
it in a
enough
vacuum,
stuff that lets them boost for free, and
For what? What do you mean? For shooting or?
well, just for attacking. Their Jackson do damage.
Right, they can hit, but
Well,
they
if
really do have a hard time breaking.
Okay,
anything
how
over
about
armor
this? Are
18.
we doing this in the way that we judge Colossals and the fact that, like, what I want to take a Galleon, how does this caster work for my Galleon? We're going to consider
Well,
the
you're
fact
saying
Shay
that
would-
it's not a synergy, and I'm saying it absolutely is a synergy.
Well, no, I definitively it is a synergy. Do I think it's a stronger synergy than many
Well,
other
how
people?
do Colossals die then? They usually get charged by 2 heavies. Getting 2 valuable pieces into a Colossal is how they die. Having a higher threat range prevents that from
If
happening.
I'm taking Shay, I'm going to take two heavies instead of a Colossal.
I disagree with that. I played it both ways. I disagree.
Well, it's like his feet, let alone. It's like that's...
No, the feat is fun, but I've played those jacks. Like, there's a limit to their power level.
Shay doesn't have a whole lot of extra focus to spend. He wants to, low center.
You need to amplify
speak.
it by putting it on a good piece that can, every time
Right.
it buys an attack, it's
He would
valuable.
rather, if he's going to put focus on a jack, he would rather put it on a Galleon than 2 separate heavies. Because he's going to coup de main almost every turn until everything's stuck in.
Okay, we agree it's a synergy. Let's move on past that. I think he's better than Ashlyn. I don't know if he's better than Damiano.
I wouldn't put him better.
I would put him, let's put him right behind.
All right, so we'll put him at a 6 and move Damiano up to a 5.
Yeah.
Moving on to Constance Blaze.
Crusader's Call.
Banishing Ward isn't bad. Banishing Ward's nice. It prevents Parasite, things like that. Crusader's Call, almost as good as Coup de Main.
And that's it.
None of those.
Sunburst.
Does her feet doesn't affect her jacks,
Nope.
does it?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay. Is Crusader's Call and Banishing Ward better than Phantasm and Coup de Main?
No.
So Shay goes up to let's actually push Ashlyn down to an 8, and we'll put Constance in at a 7.
Good news is you're going to have all kinds of precursionites to screen your jack.
Captain Drake McBain and the McBain Pain Train.
He's not a captain.
That's fine.
He's just...
I
Drake
said
McBain.
he's also not part of the McBain Pain Train, but
He
I
is.
said that too.
He is.
Oh, that's legit?
Yes.
He is Gang Fighter. That does not synergize with that guy.
Why not?
I don't know. I believe it's Warrior model.
I actually wrote
Another
Warrior.
friendly faction Warrior model, yeah. So it does not synergize.
Countermeasure. Not very
Countermeasure.
good on him.
It's not good on him, but in theory it could help protect
Could
him.
help protect
Yeah.
it.
Energizer's worthless.
Energizer's worthless.
Failsafe is
Failsafe is
awesome.
really good.
Awesome.
Fortune's not bad either.
Jackhammer is huge.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what
Because,
you're looking for
you
there.
don't have to allocate all your focus to the Galleon in case it drags something. You can just wait and see, and then buy all the Jackhammers you
And
want.
Rift can be situationally helpful
True.
to protect it.
Yeah, Menoth's got their avatar sitting right there. You're just like, have this. And they're like, I hate my life.
And his feet could potentially jam up targets that could be really dangerous to their...
Despite Bart, I think this is the best so far.
I agree. I like McBain.
McBain is really good with Galleon.
I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's nothing directly. Hey, my Galleon's going to do all the work in the entire world. But it
Are
can-
you ever going to see a 35-plus point list of McBain that does not have a Galleon?
No.
I agree. So we're going to put him in at number 4, which is just ahead of Damiano.
All right. Now, We're getting into real game here. Oh, yeah.
I'm actually going to skip the next caster and go to Fiona. And we'll talk
The next two casters.
Yes. Well, I didn't even write the other one down. Fiona the Black. Cultist, I mean, she can, in theory, get more focus to fuel it. Affliction is actually pretty cool when a damage roll resulting from a direct hit fails. So it doesn't apply to the blast on the Galleon, so it's not as good as I thought it was. Ross Mercy, Soulfire.
The Nokri and Bland is
Man,
kind of
none
cool.
of these really... Wait, is this one warrior model only? You can make your Galleon an Arc Node.
Alright.
Target model can channel spells through
The
target
brand
friendly
is
model.
not horrible, but it's
horrible.
you get magic weapon.
The feat, however, is very nice. Basically 3.5 armor. It's one of the better defensive feats. And when you're only rolling one die to hit, you can actually miss on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
So Fiona, basically just the feat for most purposes. She does have the focus to fuel it, though, which is nice.
And she can make it ignore intervening models.
Mm-hmm. So what do we think about this one?
9,
Fairly low.
9. You think she's worse so far?
Yeah.
probably. I'd rather have Ashland's feet than anything she does.
I think her feat is better than Ashland's feat.
Yeah, I don't think
But
she
that's
does
just me
anything else.
liking
No,
Fiona over
because you
Ashland.
can influence both offense and defense
That's
with
true.
Ashland.
But roulette isn't actually that useful for protecting it.
No, it doesn't protect
It lets
that
it
much.
hit, which is nice. It's mostly offensive, but potentially, yeah, it can help.
And you still influence their rolls, son.
Yeah, but it's only on to hit, not on damage.
Right.
So the odds of them missing your like defense 8 or 9 is still pretty low. It can happen. I mean, all it takes is one big attack to miss, and it matters. So I don't disagree necessarily with a 9, so I'm going to put her in a 9. Do you agree, Spence?
I agree.
Moving on to
Yeah.
Magnus the Traitor. Oh yeah,
Is he a traitor?
he's a big traitor.
I think he's loyal to a country that fell far behind him.
All right, Resourceful is first energy. You get to upkeep spells on your battle group for free.
He can
Yep.
Iron
Arcantric
aggression?
Blur,
No.
Bolt. Arcantric Bolt.
it's synergy.
Arcantric
It does
Bolt.
work with them, yeah.
No, because he has iron aggression, so it can't synergize when it's never on it.
Hey, you could be that bad. Maybe you never want your Galleon to get hit by shooting.
Hey, well, he
or
does have
tempered
metal.
metal.
which
One
is
of the
also
two
good.
is going to be
And
on there.
snipe.
That's true. All right, so, but going down the list, Blur in theory could help. Iron Aggression is actually helpful. Temper Metal is good, and Snipe is also very good.
Absolutely.
So he's got 3 quality upkeeps that he would like to put on that model. Moving
The
on
only
to the
downside
feet.
is his feet. And
Yeah,
He's
the
gonna
feet
do
doesn't
nothing.
affect him because it's outside of his normal movement.
Though, I mean, the idea, really, you could actually use that to seriously screen and protect him once you're pretty far up the board.
The Galleon
Yeah.
or the feet.
You use the feet to move all your models into the most opportune place, so he is, like, guaranteed to not get killed by anything next turn.
You're saying protect the Galleon
Yeah.
with the feet. Okay, that is something.
Bodies in front of him.
That's something.
I mean, it's not a lot, but it's something.
Going down the list, you're probably going to have Snipe on them until shit gets real. Then you can... The problem is they can't really cycle upkeeps because they have no really attachment. Like, they don't have a Scarlock. If they have Scarlock, they can put Iron Aggression on it, send it in, do some work, and then
Well, you
put
just have
Temper Metal on it.
you have
which would be
3
nice.
modes. You have 3 modes. You have melee mode, you have defense mode, and you have range
Range
mode.
mode, yeah.
And you're just like, hey, well, what
But
part
I don't
of the
think
game
you'll ever be in
defense mode?
angry mode, whatever you want to call it.
in-
Iron Aggression. I think you'll have Iron Aggression on your
You
Nomad.
would if you were going to charge a caster or something.
Didn't we
True.
just
Try
go
it
over a minute
in
ago
game.
how sometimes you want to charge things?
No, I'm just saying that Iron Aggression is better on their other jacks.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's what I've used Iron Aggression for is when, like, the Cortex is knocked out.
Okay.
You just switch it over to Iron Aggression, and then
You
then
can
it
worry
can
about
still
repairing
get
it
work
later.
done. Yeah.
Also, like, if you get the power attack off, Iron Aggression's nice. If you're gonna, like, if they've jammed a bunch of dudes in to try and stop you from getting to a zone, you can do a sweep attack or something.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. So there's quality there. It's just that's definitely gonna be on the rare side. So who is he better or worse than? He's better than Shay.
Yeah, he's higher up.
So then next is Damiano.
No, that's good.
You don't think he's
put
as
him
good as
at 3.
Damiano? I think Snipe is big. Snipe lets it contribute every turn of the
I
game.
think
Because you could potentially put
Snipe
Dougal
is
in here.
not that important on a list that's always going to have Dougal. I mean, when I think of Mercs
Yeah.
now, I think of who's my Dwarf caster?
Who's my
and
Dougal Galleon?
Who's my Dougal Galleon caster?
That's a terrible Dougal Galleon.
I don't know. Where's Drake at?
Drake McBain?
Yeah.
Drake we put at 4, which is ahead of Damiano. I think he's probably just behind Drake.
I agree.
Between
Yeah.
Damiano and Drake.
Drake goes up
that's-
1.
Because the feat from Damiano is really nice, but this guy's getting 2 every turn, and sometimes defensive feats you just back off if you can't put enough pressure on him. So we're really comparing the fact that Magnus has no feat is probably the big question, is if he actually gets better. Obviously, I think Magnus is better every turn, but Damiano's feat turn is nice.
It's nice, but really though, you get to put all your models in around the Galleon if that's what you need. Oh, well, you have a heavy that can get here? There are now 3 models that are going to be ridiculously to remove.
Yeah, but
or
you can just put all your models around Damiano's, and they're all sure-footed plus 2 defense.
So we're talking about Deadeye, Surefoot, and Warpath, plus Damiano's feat of plus 3 armor and strength, versus Iron Aggression, Snipe, and Temperamental.
I think Deadeye's pretty legit for killing a problem heavy.
Can be. Well, it's only the first one.
I understand. Okay. You're only going to drag, and then you're going to beat the fuck out of it.
It lets you max it out on focus and then put Deadeye on it. It shoots for free, basically gets boosted to hit for free, and then you expect the POW 15 to break armor, and then you drag it in, you still get your
4
3.
initials.
But, yeah.
You get 4 attacks.
And that's definitely why he's worse than McBain, because McBain, you're just like, I give him 2. Did he drag? Yes. I jackhammer. Okay, it's dead. I won. Like, that's why he can't surpass McBain. But I think Damiano and him are pretty close. What do you think, Jeremy?
I'm kind of biased here. So.
You're biased?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you want it to be Magnus. So we got 1 Magnus. Spence, what do you think?
Max has more experience than me here, but I like Magnus more.
Is there a particular reason? Let's take Magnus to number 2. Let's go.
I don't think he's that good.
He's not that good. He's going to be a number 5 if we're going to push everybody else down, I think. Maybe.
Okay.
Spence, what do you think? I want to hear what you think.
That's what he said.
I think he goes above Damiano.
Above Damiano?
Yeah, and Drake goes up 1.
Okay.
McBain's already 4.
Yeah, McBain's already above him. So McBain's going to 3, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where does that leave the hole?
So we're going to put
2.
Magnus in at number 4. Magnus 1.
Okay. Where's Magnus 2 go? Because it can't go very well.
He's
well,
next.
Hold on. We haven't got there.
Yeah, we can push people around. That's fine. Magnus the Warlord has a bond that can go on the dude that gives him backstab. So if your huge base starts completely behind something, he gets backstabbed.
Holy shit.
That's synergy right there.
He does give it a way of scoring.
Holy shit.
That's true. He allows you to potentially take it in scoring if you play 2-catch game. Also, 4th point of focus, which actually is valuable. Bullet Dodger can technically go on it. Mobility is actual helpful, and his feat is actually very useful.
Keep in mind, he has Calamity, and Calamity can actually be used with his character.
Calamity is good.
Yeah.
And you're going to have an Arc Node with him, so it will be used. So, synergies, we have the Bond for 4 focus and backstab, Calamity, Convection potentially, but probably not, Mobility,
I just don't see...
and Killbox.
I don't see him giving 4 focus ever probably happening, considering he's focus 6.
Yeah, you're going to cast Mobility and allocate 4 1 turn.
Something
maybe
just occurred
in a
to
couple
me.
Games.
Something just occurred to me is that if you're playing Magnus, you have 2 Renegades.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 AoEs that you're throwing out.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2 AoEs. Now I understand they're only single shot, but you have them already out there. Does that kind of give you too many AoEs?
Does it diminish your AoEs you already have? No.
You don't think so?
No, you save those.
Because those are assassination rockets. But the fact that you have the Galleon lets you keep those for when you really need them.
Okay. So I guess it makes those more valuable then.
For people who don't know, Magnus's feat is an old scenario. Models in your control area cannot advance towards 2 board edges of your choice.
Your Galleon can't die for a turn.
Yeah, basically, people can't move towards your Galleon unless they start out of your control area. And he is only, I believe, a 6, right? So he goes up to 12. So he's got to get up there and expose himself a little bit. Does he still have Feign Death?
No, I believe he loses that and resources.
He does. That's annoying. If he still had Feign Death, that'd be pretty cool. Because you just rocket him in the back, like, you can't shoot me.
Na 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 na.
He like dies to the rocket. You're like, damn it. All right. So what do we think about this guy? I think he's lower than Magnus 1.
I think he's pretty low.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's lower than Magnus 1. He's lower than Shay. Who's under Shay?
Underneath Shay would be Damiano. Excuse me. Not Damiano. Constance Blaze.
He's better than Constance Blaze.
He is better than Constance Blaze.
So move Constance Blaze.
Constance going down.
How is Constance not the worst?
We had Ashlyn.
Ashlyn's better than Constance.
Is she? Because
yes.
Everyone disagreed to that.
In terms of supporting the Galleon?
Specifically just supporting the Galleon. She has Roulette. And what is that, Distraction?
What is
Roulette and
Constance have?
Distraction, and Constance had
Crusader's Call.
Crusader's Call and another spell, I think. She had something else, but it was like something silly that you wouldn't really count as synergy.
Constance goes last.
Okay. Let me go back and make sure that we didn't miss something. Constance plays spell list, Banishing Ward, prevent to be debuff.
Yeah, because you don't take Eris too.
Well, yeah, but it saves your Heirs 2 shot to
Boker.
debuff a buff.
Oh, Boker, yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Purification!
That concluded Learn to Wargame.
I think Banishing Ward is better than Ashland.
Oh yeah, I said Purification, but I sounded like Max.
Okay. I think we actually rated it correctly. I'm going to leave it.
Yes.
Magnus 2. So we said he's below Shay or above Shay?
Below.
Below Shay, but above... Who did I just change? Okay, yeah. I was Braid right down. That's why. Okay, and that actually concludes the casters that can take it in their battle group.
No, it doesn't.
10.
Yeah, it does.
Gaston.
No,
can
I'm
take
pretty
it
sure
out.
The war
Ashland...
casters that can take it in their battle group.
I'm
are
almost
done.
positive we said Ashland was higher than Fiona.
I think you're right.
So she's 9.
Yep.
And Fiona's 10.
All right, so of the main casters, let's go ahead and make sure I got this in the right order. Go ahead and fat for me, please. That's not what I meant. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, well, we need a topic.
Okay.
Age of Egos.
How about this? All right. The Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman. Discuss.
Or an empire.
Well, Romans were pretty vicious people.
Right, but this
Still
is
are.
post-Roman.
And they threw spears.
I'm just saying.
And they were made so the spearhead broke.
I
So they
wasn't
could not be
entirely
thrown
wrong.
back at them.
When I talked about Hilary Duff being the most important of the Disney,
And-
little girls, and that she was probably the best one.
I think one of us is way off topic here.
Jeremey.
And they made a solid movie
And I'm back. All right. Thank God.
with Ridley Scott and Russell Crowe.
That was some fucking
Oh my
terribleness.
God!
Stop.
No,
Please stop.
no.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm cutting Max
Going
off.
top to bottom, we have Bart coming in at number 1, McBain coming in at number 2, Magnus 1 is number 3, Damiano at 4, Shay at 5, Magnus 2 at 6, Constance Blaze at 7, Ashland at 8, and Fiona at 9.
I agree with
We
that.
had to shuffle everything up.
Yeah, because
We didn't
there's
have
only
a
9
two.
main casters that can take
We
it.
didn't have a 2.
So now we're going to talk about Gaston. And why don't you go and give us a summary of Gaston, Spence?
Gaston is he's a mercenary character solo. His stats across the board are going to be Speed 6, Strength 5, Mat 5, Rat 5, Defense 14, Armor 14, and the all very important Command 7. He is fearless, which is
I was
really
going to
good.
say you missed Fearless, but you got it.
Very
I
fearless.
was waiting for that.
He has a Focus 4 solo. He has certain abilities which make him a junior warcaster. That makes him a solo, not a warcaster, for all the people asking that question. Stop it, Brandon. He has a Power 12, Range 12, Rate of Fire 2, Magical Hand Cannon. So he can
Why do you call it a hand cannon?
because it's Power 12, Range 12. That's definitively a hand cannon in
But
this
it's
game.
Rate of Fire
2.
2. Hand cannons are Rate of Fire 1.
I mentioned Rate of Fire 2. I also mentioned
They're
Magical.
also called hand cannons when they're hand cannons.
Yeah, this is Range 12 power. Shut up. You're the most angry little girl I know.
Okay.
He also has 2 PS8 knives, just in case you need them. He has 5 health.
Which he is brandishingly, angrily at.
Yes, despite you never
Meh,
use.
I have knives.
He has 5 health and he's 3 points.
Okay, so really what I meant is point out synergies with the Galleon. But
No,
thank you
I'm
for
gonna
that.
go down the model
Look here, fire group.
Right there, there's a hand cannon with rate of fire 2.
That's a double hand cannon.
It's actually a dual.
Dual hand cannon.
So-
Even better.
He has 2 spells. He has Fire Group. It's cost 2, range self. AoE is his control area. That'll be 8 inches. It's not an upkeep. It's not offensive. While in this model control area, the ranged weapons of models in his battle group gain +2 range. Fire Group lasts for 1 turn. Side note, he is in his own battle group, everybody, so it's +2 range to his hand cannons.
Are non-warcasters in battle groups?
Yes.
Okay.
Definitively based upon the rules of battle group, he is.
Okay.
Alright, he also has Moving Shadows, which is cost 2, range self, AoE control, upkeep yes, offense no. While in this model's control area, models in its battle group gain gun and run. Why can't it be run and gun?
Can we speed through this a little faster, please?
Can you? Go.
Well, you're the one that's be at work at like 4 in the morning or whatever.
I'm still gonna have to fucking be there.
Okay.
But you're like, let's discuss everybody with every faction.
We're waiting on you.
Oh, okay. At the end of the activation, the model destroyed 1 or more enemy models with the range attack. That activation, the model with gun and run can make a full advance. So pretty much you could kill something and move. So it's like sprint
Gun
with
sprint.
guns.
Yeah, I feel like there was a copyright thing somewhere.
That's probably what it is. He has dodge. His flank Warjack. When this model makes a melee attack with an enemy model in the melee range, type indicated, this model gains +2 attack rolls and gains an additional damage die. So
Synergy with the Galleon right there.
So he has
that's
flank.
true.
If you don't know what that is.
With his Galleon.
Not with his Galleon, with any Warjack.
He reduces the point cost of Vanguard Warjacks in his battle group by 1, and he can only reactivate and only control Mercenary Warjacks, which include the Galleon.
Okay.
Synergies.
So, talking about him with the Galleon, obviously the +2 range is nice. Moving Shadows is relevant because it can't move out of its movement. He does have flank with it.
And cheap shield guards.
Right. So, the other thing to note is that he himself is a mercenary and can work for 4-star Talion, Protectorate, and Cygnar. So, that means you can obviously take in Cygnar and Protectorate, but right now we're going to just talk about 4-star Talion, which allows him to be taken with specifically the 3 dwarf casters. So, Spence on 1 through 3, Galleon with Osram. You can snipe it and fire group it for +6 range.
Yeah.
And since it's 4-star, potentially also...
Is it +6 or is it going to be +8 because you can take McDougal?
That's what I was saying. Also, because it's 4-star, you can take Dougal for the
Yeah.
double powder ration. So you can
+8.
have +8 range on and make it range 22.
That's horrifying.
That's not bad. And you can also walk by, so it's effective threat 27, plus scattering with artillerist.
I like every bit of that. What else does Osram give him?
That's about it.
I think that's it.
Yeah, fire for effect and snipe. Is that it?
Can he even fire for
He
effective?
can't fire for effective, it's already sniped.
Well,
Right,
yeah,
it's
but
one or the
I'm
other.
just saying, yeah.
I mean, since you can already make it range 22, then range 18 is still pretty good.
That's what?
It's
Bullet
all right.
dodger. Yeah.
I don't think you're going to see that as often though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So moving on to Gordon.
Gordon's not a bad choice at all.
Gordon's feed is huge with it.
Because we already just said, what
Yeah.
What about not having snipe with it? Well, who cares about snipe with it? Because if you can pull everything towards you, knock it down, the Galleon can just gun it the fuck
No,
away.
that's. Did I say Gordon?
Yeah.
I did. You're right. Continue.
All right. You can put up a wall, which is going to help keep this thing alive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I like every bit of that. Because Gordon does a normal bowling thing where he tosses himself out, pops his feet and tosses everything out there, and just everything gets pulled closer to you.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's almost impossible to not get killed by this thing.
Eruption can potentially protect it a little bit, but other than that... Oh, and the rock wall as well. So he has multiple ways to prevent people from coming in on it. He can also kind of protect Gaston in that way as well. People start threatening him, and you can just landslide them away and keep your Galleon going. And then the final one is Durgan Madhammer, who has Explosivo to give magical weapons, but most of his guns are already AoEs. Inhospitable Ground really protects it. Cannot cast Redline on it because it's battle group only, and his feat is actually quite big. Friendly faction models gain additional die on blast damage rolls and AoE ranged attack rolls while in his control area.
That's awesome.
That is huge because he has 2d3 AoEs every turn, and you can make the harpoon shot an AoE as well with Explosivo.
That's a lot of boosted damage.
Yeah, so it's minimum 3 AoEs, possibly 7. And you can also Dougal mini feat plus
You know, I
Artillerist.
actually kind of like that, because every time I've ever seen Madhammer's feet, it's like generally it's just Madhammer and
Right,
Vernon
yeah, he
John.
blows
That's
all
it
kinds
is.
of shit up. But yeah, when you throw in the Galleon or the Earthbreaker, you know, the extra AoEs is just, I can just remove whatever I want from the
Yeah,
table.
it's like, well, your army now gets wiped. That's kind of nice. I
I've
like
never been a big fan of his feat.
Really? It is unfortunate that it doesn't boost range damage rolls.
If
because
it was just everything,
direct
if it was
yeah.
like, because your gun's an AoE, even the direct hits boosted, I'd be okay with it. I'd be on point with it. But the fact that you have to miss
his
or rely on your opponent positioning poorly, I think sucks.
What's the key here? Are you trying to specifically?
he's saying that it should be like Ossian's feat, and it's just boosted
Not
range
even
damage
that,
rolls.
but it would have to be an AoE still.
Right, okay, yeah,
But
I'm
the
with you
direct
there.
hit would still be
Right.
boosted.
My question is, are you okay? Now,
If I
It
shoot your
doesn't-
Ironclad
it-
and hit, there's no extra
I understand
damage.
that.
Yeah.
Well, at all?
No, because it only
it's
boosts
only
blast
the blast
damage
damage.
rolls, and it's
So
not
the blast damage. What I'm saying is, let's ignore your shooting my Ironclad. Okay, I take an Eliminator, which really I can't hit because they're stealth anyway. I run it exactly where I want it to be, and I shoot at that thing. Yeah, it's going to deviate, and then I'm dealing with deviated boosted blast damage. But can't I do that?
You can, but
The
you're
problem
just
isn't
still
landing
hoping
AoEs
and
on what
praying.
you want. It's that it doesn't increase your damage versus hard targets, is what he's saying.
Okay.
Because you're having your POW and then
What
getting
I'm gonna
extra
say
die.
is-
Because what I'm saying is, what's the armor of most things that are stealthed?
Like nothing.
Like 13 or lower.
Yeah.
The things
It
you're
already
scattering
kills them.
onto usually just kill.
That's true. My thing is, you're talking about these hard targets. If you've removed all that chaff from the field, how is their hard target not just walking up to a colossal, maybe even two, that you're just going to win with?
That's the thing, is his backup is I have Redline. And once he's cleared out your infantry, Redline has to end the game for you. Like, if Redline doesn't get it done, you lose. Because your Jack is gone. And that's all you had.
What I'm saying is, what if you're not, if you bar targeting your own models that are stealth, which you will probably end up killing,
Yes.
You will end up killing. Yeah.
what if you're playing against a whole bunch of Def 12 models? You're going to hit most of those. I'm not going to give you most of them.
Target killing
I'm
outside
not
of his
going to give
range.
you multiple models.
He's saying he's going to space properly that 3-inch
Got it.
AoEs won't
Good.
hit multiple people.
That's why I don't like that feat that much.
He also has an inhospitable ground, which gives him a
No, inhospitable
possibly in
ground
every
is
turn.
a
Yeah.
good spell.
The
like-
problem with inhospitable ground is
Especially
he has
because he's
he has
focus
to
6.
risk himself to use it
Well,
properly.
the amount of things that he's able to say, it's like, no, I'm going to go ahead and win this fight this way. It's kind of interesting.
I think his feat's overrated.
I think
That's
he-
all I'm saying. I still think he's a good caster.
I would say it's overrated because it's not a solid value that it gives you. You have to hope for drifts onto multiple things. Like, you can't
Or
just
poor
pick 7 miles.
positioning.
Yeah,
I've seen his feat be absolutely incredible. I've seen it be completely worthless.
I can respect. I can respect.
He always has something to do, and unlike Gordon, you don't feel like you cannot accomplish everything you want to do. You just feel like you're stretched thin.
So, because of his carpet bomb is one of the only few things I find really effective on his
Yeah.
feat turn.
The
because you
concept
get
that-
the two that just deviate off the first one.
Right, and you can play that way. Like, you take your Galleon and maybe an Earthbreaker, just a couple drillers, some heavy hitters, put them in there, and maybe even just Hammer Dwarves. And your goal is for Durgan plus one other thing to clear out their infantry, and everything else is just anti-armor. Because I can kill these things, because I've got Carpet Bomb, I've got, the stupid extra scatter off, Herninger, I've got a Galleon on Gaston. These three things combined, like, I can kill almost any amount of infantry on the feet turn. Inhospitable ground might buy me another turn. So, at that point, everything else you buy needs to be armor cracking. And I see a lot of people build everything
Nyss are
they
really
take.
good with them. There's all
Nyss,
sorts of things.
primed is huge. Like, if you can find the right things to put with him, it is amazing. But it's very easy for you to try to do something and it to backfire, because a lot of his abilities have downsides. Like, Redline does a little bit of damage, you think, but really it just gets your guys into positions they shouldn't be in, because you're like, look at all this threat range I got, and then you charge out and it dies, and you're like, oh. And it's like, I run my Nyss up, and they get shot up by long gunners because they're -2 defense, and they're like, oh.
-2 armor.
And -2 armor. Is it both? It's both, right?
It's just 2 armor.
Oh.
It's not defense.
I'm bad. I probably lost a lot in Nyss Hunters I didn't need to. Anyway, I do like Prime Nyss Hunters. They're pretty freaking good.
Yeah, unless you're playing against magical.
+2 hit and damage,
Mammoths.
-2 armor, and they explode. That's what it does.
This is pretty good. CRAs, well, it's only on melee damage rolls, right? Yeah.
Enemy.
But that makes them Mat 8, POW 11 Weapon Masters. That's pretty solid. That's
Turns
good.
them into Bane Knights.
Mat 8 Bane Knights. Curse Bane Knights. No reach, though.
They don't go
And
as
it's
far.
enemy attack.
Do it?
Doesn't have to be
For
melee.
exploding them, yeah.
Right. It has to be an enemy attack.
Yeah.
All right, so in what order do you think these three happen, Spence, and you guys?
I went Durgan, Gordon, and then Ostrom.
I do think Durgan is number one, because he likes...
Well, the
If
feat-
you could pick a caster to put the Earthbreaker, or not the Earthbreaker, the Galleon on, I would say Durgan. Unfortunately, you can't. You have to take Gaston as an intermediary. But if you could put, like, Redline on the Galleon and just have it in his battle group, oh, it would be so awesome.
I would put Ostrom second.
Ostrom
Would
second.
Yeah.
I feel like
I think Snipe's almost overkill on the Galleon. It's okay.
it does potentially free up Dougal for another list. Although I really
You
doubt
just-
that
you're-
you would.
Honestly, you're not going to have a Galleon in any of these lists, unless it's just for fun.
You could run Galleon in both lists, though.
You can. I'm saying you're not going to run a Galleon with a Dwarf caster unless it's just for fun.
Right. The only
If you're trying to be competitive, you're probably not going to have a Galleon with one.
Yeah. The only time I've heard of double or Galleon and Earthbreaker in the same list has been with Durgan. I don't know that you actually should take two, and I don't know why you wouldn't take an Earthbreaker, but if you want to run two Dwarf casters and you want a Colossal in both and Earthbreaker's not cutting it, you could look at a Galleon.
If the Earthbreaker's not cutting it, that's your problem. It's not the Earthbreaker's problem.
Do we all agree that Durgan's number one of the three?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
So Gordon is basically only good at protecting it. Ostrom actually has some buffs. Is Ostrom protected at all?
No.
So it's defense versus offense?
His feet is only dwarves, so...
Okay.
Well, and I mean, okay, even if we say Gordon only protects it, I mean, landslide and then start shooting everything you just landslid.
Well, what you can do is you drop
And
a
they can't
wall.
charge, so it's
Well,
like they're not charging your colossal.
Yeah, you
extra
drop a
damage.
wall and you landslide people into it and clump them all up, and then you just drop all your AoEs from the Galleon
Yeah.
on top of them. All right, so Ostrom at number 2, Gordon at a close third. Cygnar. We're not going to go through all Cygnar casters, just specific things that
stands
you
out?
think we should talk about. Obviously, Siege.
Haley 1.
Haley 1.
You really like Siege?
Siege with him is really
Foxhole.
good. The AoEs off the Galleon on Siege's feet turn can be incredible. Siege,
But I don't know. Yet again, I feel like you're killing things that you would kill anyways.
potentially.
I think probably the two best, in my opinion, would be Siege Kane 1 and Haley 1.
Really?
Does Kane 1 need it? I would
Well-
say almost the same thing.
Well, Kane 1's going to wipe
Kane
out all
1
the
doesn't
infantry
need
between
it, but
things.
Kane 1 has Snipe, Deadeye, and a feat that removes all infantry
That's true.
from
If you're
12
looking
within
at-
12 inches.
If
And
you're
then the
looking at it from the
Galleon.
Galleon's point of view, yes, Kane 1.
and
If
the
you're looking
Galleon.
for Kane 1 would not really reach for it, but yes, it does have a lot of things that the Galleon wants.
Yeah.
Haley 1, obvious. Like, this is the list that was taken to the WTC. Like, you take Galleon on Gaston, you take, Stormwall on Haley, and then, you take your junior to put Arcane Shield on your
Enjoy your
Galleon.
W.
She puts Arcane Shield on the Stormwall. You have just annoying crap everywhere.
And you take like gun mages or
yeah, you
something
take like
that.
Gun Mages, Gorman, Black 13th, whatever you want to annoy the shit out of
Whatever
your
the
opponent.
other 12 points are.
Clearly good. So
Stand
or
out in that
whatever it is.
faction.
I just feel Siege. I don't know. I talked with Nigel and Colin when they were talking about
I don't think it'd be bad
Yeah.
necessarily.
It does become the problem with it. The real problem
It
is
does
that
give you another
it's-
a POW 15 gun.
True.
Which the
and
higher
also,
the POW,
yeah.
the better the gun.
Really, it's just
shot.
dicey. If you roll 2 shots on your gun ports on his feet turn, you've wasted 19 points. Like, you really need that feet turn to be good.
You also got Mage Sight.
Isn't it battle group though?
Yes, mage side is battle group only.
Oh,
Yeah. Explosivo potentially, because that's obviously not battle group.
Yeah.
got
Arcane
Foxhole.
Shield, yeah, Foxhole. You can let it see through things.
It doesn't need to see through anything.
It's
I mean,
really
I suppose.
just look what the Galleon's guns can do.
The see-throughing is you're hiding behind that huge base? Well, Foxhole's a 5-inch hole. It's not there
Because
anymore.
how many AoEs does Cygnar really have other than
Well,
Siege's
I'm
rocket?
trying to
don't have very
I'm trying to
many.
consider something
At all.
where
That's really all you're bringing to the table.
it has a ton of infantry removal, but if you play it with a caster that has infantry removal as well, like which Siege can do, he can be like you can literally spot remove like the things between a heavy or a target you need to kill and the Galleon. He can remove that stuff, and the Galleon can be like, okay, well I'm gonna go ahead and drag that piece of shit in here, and I'm gonna kill that. So they can't really hide it behind models now because you've been able to ground pound and just remove all that crap.
Okay, so Siege is probably a good one. Haley 1 for sure.
What about Sturgis?
I hate you. He's not a caster. Let's move
Probably, I mean, not
I mean,
that
you
he'd
get
be
Arcane
awful,
Shield and
but,
Snipe.
but probably, I mean,
on. The Arcane Shield loses value, 1, because you could just take the Journeyman with any of the others,
does-
and 2,
he
because
does-
Snipe's also in the
he
list.
does actually help clump models,
That's true. That is true.
which isn't a bad thing.
But without the Siege feat and without any way to actually increase your blast damage, it's still only POW 7 blast. Which does its job versus a lot of things, but once you start to the solid infantry units, they're usually pretty much going to shake off POW 7s.
Yeah.
I mean, I play Conquest, and I've killed like 6 models total lifetime with Creeping Barrage, and I put them down, so...
Gone.
I did kill 4 Annihilators in a row, and that made Max really mad. He was like, you gotta be kidding me, right? It's like 5 of them or 4 of them in a row just charged through it and died.
That's terrifying.
So I was like, and he's like 8s. It's like 9, 10, 11, 11. And he's like, I hate you. It's
That's
like,
terrible.
It's amazing. They were like ignited. They're like furied berserk. I don't know. I don't really remember, but it was fun.
Ignite and Fury.
And then he still killed it. I was like, yeah, that's what's happened. And then the other times it was like Bane Thralls, which was even better. Dice off 9.
Darius's feet doesn't affect it, does it? It's friendly faction.
Yeah, I believe so.
And battle group.
Yeah, and battle groups.
All right. Who in Menoth, since Gaston could actually walk this big boy over into the Protectorate?
All right.
Trios 1.
Yeah, that's an
Trios 1, yeah, putting the AoEs where you want them.
It's like an assassination piece at that point, which they already do
Well,
well
and
without him.
You can
but
pretty have. I mean, the thing is, if you walk it up there and you start killing things, they stand up, they walk. They can't charge you because they had to stand up. It literally just wades through all their infantry that way.
Cody messaged me a few days ago and was actually asking me if he should get a Galleon for Gaston from Menoth. I told him I don't see why you would want to. What about Resnick 2's feet?
Strips your focus.
Do you need that,
Resnick 2.
Resnick 2.
Well, one, he gives a blanket -2 defense,
That's
which
nice.
isn't bad. I don't know if he...
POW 14 AoE 4.
Right, well, I don't know if it triggers the feet
It does.
explosion.
It does.
It is, it's just if you're
Yep.
killed
If you're
by
in his control area when you die, you explode in a
Well,
4-inch
I know
AoE.
it doesn't work against... It has to be a melee or ranged attack. I didn't
Yes.
know if it had to be made by a friendly faction.
No,
model.
it doesn't.
Okay.
Because Kel Baylock is kind of like a...
So, I mean, if you're already wanting to play the special Snowflake stuff like Resnick 2, I mean, then you might look at something like that.
Oh, and it's a huge base, so it's going to block a lot of real estate from getting to your huge base caster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you just play Rias, 2 Sacral Vaults, and
Stop
2 Thrones of Everblight, and an Archangel. You have your 5 huge
That's
bases.
terrible. Well, I mean, okay.
Do they all get
So-
dash?
No, none of them get dash. It's warrior models.
Who else?
Warrior models.
Who else?
They're not warrior models.
We got Kraus 1.
Um,
Kraus 3 has Force Hammer.
that's true. He also has like
That's such a reach.
purification ability.
He does.
I would say Harbinger, just she
Ignite.
could keep it alive, but she really can't. Higher Claimer could protect Gaston.
True. I feel like keeping Gaston alive wouldn't be that
And most
big a
things
deal.
can't shoot down a Galleon anyway.
Can Sheely Martyrdom friendly faction models?
Yes.
Harbinger?
Friendly
Yes,
faction warrior models.
Okay.
Testament's really not going to do anything for him.
I'm not. And this is the same problem I had last time.
High
I looked.
Reclaimer?
High Reclaimer doesn't really do anything for him.
Clouds off Gaston.
He just went over that a second
We
ago.
talked about that a second ago.
I don't think you did.
Oh. The High Reclaimer.
Let's go to the tape.
All right.
High Reclaimer can cloud off Gaston.
Thyra.
No.
Occultation.
Oh my god.
That's terrible.
On
So
the
High
Galleon?
Reclaimer.
Yeah.
Okay, so Thyra, no. Vindictus, no. No, there's nothing there.
I'm not hearing any real good reasons to take it.
Fiora 1.
Can you battle
Drop
it?
a wall of fire in front of the guy.
Ooh.
That's probably the strongest synergy we've
No,
talked
you
about.
Can't
so far.
battle it.
I know you
Yeah,
can't.
that's so rough.
Kraus 2, no. Kraus 3, maybe because of Force Hammer, but not really.
The problem is you have to have a very specific reason to not take the Judicator because they're so similar. Judicator and the Galleon aren't exactly the same in any way, but they do similar jobs.
True.
They're both raining down AoEs until you get close, then it's doing some punishment.
If we're missing something here and you Menoth players out there are like, oh, what about this?
Take a Judicator.
Yeah, you're probably wrong.
The problem is, like, why would you pass up on, like, similar rat POW 10 blast damage? Admittedly more inaccurate, but it's guaranteed 4 shots. And you lose the grabby claw, but you get the
It's
sprays.
Adjudicator. It's fine. It's already hitting that hard
And
anyway.
you have 2 POW 22s versus 1 POW 21 and POW 19.
That's Mat 8.
Yeah, I mean, Choir's huge. You get a free focus. It's a point cheaper. Like, there's a lot of good reasons
Sprays.
to take the Judicator. You might find a specific list you want to play. Like, actually, let's talk about
I
Resnick
thought they were
1.
both 18.
Resnick 1's going to do nothing
Oh,
for
you're
him.
right. The Galleon is 18. Resnick 1, though, being able to drag in with that can extend your threat range. If you're
And
trying to build a janky assassination.
Okay, so you have Perdition, you have Witch Hound, you have
Well, you
Righteous Vengeance, and you have Drag. So yes, I suppose Fire Salvation could kill anything.
Well, no,
if you make
Resnick
all that
does.
happen.
Like, you just drag them in, and then Resnick feats and charges them.
I guess.
But, I mean, most people would never think that was your game plan from the start. They'd be like, you have a Galleon, like, you don't know what the hell you're
That's not
doing.
your game plan from the start.
That's your game plan. If you're playing those, that's your game plan.
That is not your game plan from the start.
I've played worse game plan lists.
I feel like I'm missing casters that we could potentially
I
mention.
know. It's just like, nothing pops out.
No.
He's going through the list. He's like, nope, nope, nope.
I'm
nope,
going to bust
nope,
out the
nope.
list. I'm going to just go flat down it and say no.
He's been doing this already.
Warcasters.
I mean, that's gays. They have a turn. I don't know.
Nothing's. The faction doesn't protect its jacks if they're not faction jacks. The faction doesn't buff its jacks if they're not faction
Yeah, it's
jacks.
just because Meowth's such a
Intrinsically synergistic
racist faction.
We prefer
Xenophobic.
Intrinsic synergistic. Okay.
They're not
You can
racist,
prefer whatever you
Brandon.
want. Just put an attendant priest on Gaston. It fixes the problem.
Can't do that.
Oh. So it doesn't fix the problem?
No.
What if
I'm
you
sad.
take a unit of Gastons?
Yeah, if I take Gaston and his friend. Oh,
That's
plus
happening.
size taking Gaston in Menoth is you get to buy 4-point vanguards as more shield guards. It's a bit of a stretch.
So if you take 4 vanguards, you start gaining points over not taking devouts.
Maybe not.
They have assault.
They do have assault.
They don't have
Dude, let's be
stalwart.
honest.
They're
Vanguards
salty.
are freaking annoying to take off the table.
They are.
Those guys should not be as tough as they are.
That's true.
For 5 points, let alone 4 points.
Bronzebacks don't think so, but I mean, yeah.
Did you hear about the list that, what's his name?
Yes.
Freaking the guy from Crippled System played? The 14 Vanguard?
Nathan.
Yeah.
God, that
So
list...
dumb.
That list was been so annoying to play against. You have 14 Vanguards, Bartcast Batten, and you're like, my God. Like, I'm never going to kill these.
Yeah, so Menoth doesn't really want a Gaston and the Galleon.
The only thing I could think of is you're just trying to do something totally silly. Because it's just because the Adjudicator's so good already. Not that it's better
Well,
than
you
the
could
Galleon.
I
take
think
Dougal.
he used it to extend the threat range of Resnick too.
Well, you can actually take Dougal
and
and
then
Menoth.
you Creator's Wrath some shit to death.
What about Sevi 2? Does he have anything? He also has Creator's Wrath.
Nothing that you want to take that for.
Creator's
Holy
Wrath.
Ward
Yeah, you got
Vision.
other stuff.
is not on him. Vision's on 71.
If only the Eye of Menoth could see the Galleon.
Doesn't
Are there any... Okay, so I think we're done with Menoth. Krios 1, potentially, is all we
Yeah.
came up with. That's an if.
I'd still take a Adjudicator.
And clearly with Fiora 2, because why would you want to take Adjudicator with Fiora 2?
It's a bad matchup.
Because you'd rather have a POW 21 Jack base.
Would you possibly want to take a Galleon with Gaston over a Revelator?
What is that?
A Revelator. It's the spoiled new Colossal.
The what?
The Hydra?
The Revelator?
The Scorn thing? The Hydra?
No, the Menoth one.
The Zapdos?
The Zapdos.
You mean the party bot?
The what?
The party
I
bot.
have not heard that.
It's the Revelator. He revels as in to enjoy things. He's the party bot.
I thought he revealed things because he's the Revelator.
He revels.
Oh,
Revel. The revel.
Revelator.
You're terrible at this. If you call it the Revelator, I'll hate you forever.
I just like making you hate things.
I know you do.
Okay.
Just call it Hedonism Bot and get over it.
Heaton.
All I'm saying is my Revelator's actually going to be pelvic thrusting. I'm going to like work the hinges and joints and everything. That's what it's going to do the whole time.
I don't think you will.
Oh, you want to bet? I'm working on it.
I actually do want to bet.
You want to bet?
I do want to bet.
We'll work this.
All it takes is the clippers and some glue.
Just clip the hips out.
My
He has no
clippers-
hips, but it looks kind of like what I thought.
Just glue some hinges.
While I
Now he's
was
pelvic
drunk.
thrusting, and I won the bet. You know me, Brandon. You know I'll go off and buy 2 or 3 of these fucking things in order to keep hacking at them until I make
Yeah,
something
and I'll
I want.
still win the bet because I will only give you like $10 for your
I'm
purchase
okay with
of
it.
3 Colossus.
You will have lost the bet.
I'll just take all your parts
Okay,
and make a new one.
now for the weird chance that you play a 2-caster game.
Scorn.
All right.
Why do you want?
You can put Far Strike on it. You can not rush it. Can you poop handle it?
What?
I don't know.
The Extoller Soul Wards.
Can you
No.
give it Eyeless Sight? I doubt it.
You cannot
No.
ancillary attack because I believe it says War Beast.
Probably says faction.
Who
thing.
has ever played a 2-caster game and said, I'm going to take Magnus? Actually, no, you can't. Oh, you can. You can't put it on Gaston.
We already went over what Magnus brings with him. Now what is Scorn handing to him, and it's nothing.
Far Strike. You should
Guidance
take-
is friendly.
That would be
faction.
amazing if it was Magnus 1 and the only thing you could do for it
Oh,
is
you can't
Far
do
Strike.
Far Strike.
That would be amazing. He's
Oh,
like,
you
I
can't do
already
Far Strike.
decided. Actually, no. Yeah, you could, because you could take Zadesh and you could put a Raider on Zadesh. That's how you could Far Strike it. Because I keep thinking you don't get normal beasts. You have to take everything on Zadesh. You can take Orin or
Why
Midwinter.
could you not Force Strike? First Strike.
I keep telling him he can't.
Why not?
Why?
I don't want him to.
No.
Totally can. Because you can Far Strike a Mule and Trolls.
That's terrible.
So I looked into that because I wanted to take a Mule and Trolls because that stupid guy came out.
Relic Mortlaw.
Yeah.
He's an IKRPG model that for some reason they put into the game.
Because he's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if you disacknowledge the definition of the word awesome, he definitely is.
He's got a big jack.
If by
on his
awesome you
back.
mean is a troll with scrap parts on his back.
Yeah, it's
He
like,
is
I don't
awesome.
get that at all.
It would have been a sweet model if my guy was a troll kit.
That's true.
Is there anything else in Scorn other than Orin Midwinter?
No.
Okay.
It's a terrible model.
Yeah,
in
it's
Scorn.
terrible.
You heard it here. The Galleon's terrible.
Yep, don't play it. It's bad.
Yeah,
Ever.
I don't ever want to see anybody play it in a tournament.
All right.
In Scorn.
So now moving on.
Not
The
just in
Earthbreaker.
Scorn, but any fact.
This will be stupid fast. Ostrom is number 1. Durgan's number 2. Gordon number 3. Any objections?
This is who? The Groundbreaker?
Thor is
Earthbreaker.
actually number 1.
It's the Ground Shatterer.
And all 3 of the actual Warcasters are distantly behind him.
What did you say?
I say Thor is actually number 1.
Thor is balanced. I don't understand why people complain about him.
Balanced?
I understand that people... Okay, Ostrom is overpowered, clearly.
Balanced?
I actually think
Thor is not balanced.
I think he was playtested to be balanced.
I
I think no one played Ostrom during that playtest.
But
other than that-
people who say that Thor is balanced need to understand that Thor was created when they didn't have an Earthbreaker.
But the Earthbreaker was built when
It's not
Thor
true.
was obviously going to be taken with him.
It's not. It's
Look
like-
at the POW on its weapons. It's got POW 13 guns across the board. They're all shorter range than almost every other Colossal. You pay a tax on it. I'm not saying it's not good. It's really freaking good. But tell me that Ostrom Earthbreaker isn't better than Haley 1 Stormwall. Or Haley 2 Stormwall, I mean. It's like, you're telling me that it's noticeably worse than Broken.
Well, but that's not has nothing to do with the Stormwall.
But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they don't need Thor for their Stormwall to be really freaking good. I have to pay the 2 points on my guy, so I'm basically... It's like the Choir tax, Adjudicator with Choir. If you were to just step into this game, and I was saying, I have Thor, he does either boosted attack or boosted damage. I have Choir, +2 to everything I do. I think that's pretty comparable, and you can do it to 4 things for 2 points. And it has 3 abilities it can use beyond just battle. Like, if you were to show someone who didn't play the game that, they would lose their minds. But it's okay because they've been part of the game for so long, no one cares. And there's always when the first time someone plays against Menoth, they're like, I'm going to battle. And they're like, what's that do? And there's +2 to hidden damage. They're like, excuse me? Like, there's no way that's right. And they like look at the card like, what? How is this balanced? Why don't I have Choir? Like, they lose their minds. The Stormwall has range, 14, POW 15 guns. The Earthbreaker has range 10, POW 13 guns.
You're not going to be able to use Cygnar to
Rat
balance
5
anyone.
versus Rat 6.
What Rat 5? Menoth Jacks?
No, the Stormwall's Rat 6.
Fuck the Stormwall.
Isn't it?
Knockdown guns.
It does have knockdown gun. It also has rough terrain gun.
Just acknowledges elevation.
That ignore elevation and cover.
That should not happen. I agree with that.
That's a thing.
But that's an Earthbreaker problem. That's not a Thor problem.
Thor takes the Earthbreaker.
I really don't think the gun should knock down. The gun should just be able to create rough terrain or do something else, maybe. Maybe the one of their options should be ignore cover and elevation, and the other shot should be create rough terrain. And the second shot should not be knocked down. That's the problem. Because you can knock down and then tune up damage. That's the problem. And, well, really, it's not even the problem.
To be fair,
The problem is that it
the
does
problem
what
is-
it wants for 2 focus. It does everything.
The problem is Thor plus
It
Ostrom's
hits and then
feet.
shoots all its guns and they all hit.
Thor plus Ostrom's feet plus Snipe plus Dougal plus Artillerist. All of that is too much for an assassination run. And your only option is
It's
being
only
too
22
far away.
inches.
Yeah. If you're staying at least 22... It's like same with Epic Lilith, though. How do you stop Epic Lilith from killing you? You don't give them line of sight to your caster, and you stay fucking far away from them.
Well, but at least with Epic Lilith, you could be on a hill behind a wall and be almost immune to her fucking Ravagors. I mean, yeah, you can get lit on fire, but you're most likely only going to get direct hit maybe once.
On a hill behind a wall.
That's +6.
That's impossible right now?
No, it's not.
Well,
Okay.
walls can't be within 5
Okay,
inches of
wreck
hills.
marker, hill,
Yeah, they
move
can.
on.
Within 2 inches of hills?
I thought
Right,
they
Okay,
could,
you
because
can
they're-
get cover and elevation, yes. Okay, I was under the impression they couldn't be within 5 of anything.
I thought because the hill,
You're
the
probably
hill
right.
is the certain kind of terrain type where it
Right,
can be.
it definitely can't be within 2. I thought it also couldn't be within 5, but I'm probably thinking of it
Sure.
wrong. It's also late and I'm tired. I'm probably wrong.
But either way, you could get cover
Right.
and elevation.
Cover and concealment +6 if your caster's at least a 15. Let's just say a 16 because there's a lot of 16s. That puts you to what? A 22? If he's aiming, he'll go to a 7. He most likely will not be able to pincushion you unless he just gets crazy lucky. So, boosting on a 7, less than 50% chance. It's probably like
Way
a 40% chance to hit you. Needs a 12 if he gets to aim
You said you're a 22.
to a 7.
It's a 15.
I'm doing math wrong, apparently. You were right, 15.
That's really fucking hard to hit.
Yeah.
That's the only annoying thing really about the Galleon. Earthbreaker. If he didn't ignore all that stuff, you could defend your caster easier and
Other side, they have no answer for stealth. Legion does, which is dumb in my opinion. I hate
I also
the
hate
ability to ignore stealth because I don't have it.
everybody complains about Cricks, but they don't ignore near as many rules as
I don't think I've ever
Legion.
seen one Juggernaut ever care about stealth.
That's true.
It's like I don't think it's ever been a rule that my Juggernaut charges your stealth model.
Yeah,
The Juggernaut gets out-throated by every model in the game.
That's absolutely true.
I think that they definitely people expect Thor to get nerfed. I do not think it's going to happen because take
Ever.
Thor away from that faction, and the
faction's
Earthbreaker
He's
is
still-
straight garbage.
He's not garbage at all.
He's bad.
No, he's not
He is bad.
The Earthbreaker is not bad without him. I
Without Thor,
vehemently disagree with you on that. I will tell you that it's not broken.
I will tell you probably not see dwarf casters.
That's probably true, but you hardly see Dwarfcasters.
Well,
now.
you just won't see mercenaries. Is what will happen because they won't have a second list.
Well, that's just that's part of the community's fault. I think everybody just needs to stop that bullshit.
No, Snipe is good enough to play. The Earthbreaker by itself.
I don't know. I really think you would just completely stop seeing mercenaries at big tournaments like you didn't before.
The Earthbreaker is plenty good without Thor.
Have they announced the mercenary all in one box?
It's just not worth taking
No.
without him.
No.
I'm calling it right now. If it's Shay and a bunch of mercenary and a bunch of pirate shit, I'm buying it.
Okay.
Be awesome.
So you're gonna buy stuff I already own.
Yeah.
You're impressing me.
To
Impressing
be fair,
you?
Brandon, I own Shay first.
That's true. I own Shay first.
No.
Yes, that's what you said. That's what I said. We agreed. He's trying to fist bump you.
That's a good one, dog.
Oh, and the dwarves. I hit those first too.
Which dwarves?
All of them.
My
I need-
Rulik? You own my Rulik before I did?
I need hammer dwarves.
I agree with you. You need
Is
hammer
it bad
dwarves?
that after running Harvey Double Bastion, I have no desire at all to run Harvey Hammer Dwarves?
You... I'm not surprised at all. I know people that want to run hammer dwarves instead of bastions. I'm like, why?
Yeah, it's like I keep looking at
It's
them
like, do you know how murthering works? Like,
well, even that, Attendant Priest, give him Pathfinder, give him magic weapons, give him immunity to spells. I could do all that, but I just keep looking. I'm like, I think I'd just rather have Bastions.
yeah, considering they're 2 points cheaper.
And they're exemplars.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's strong arguments probably for both. The hammer doors are more vulnerable to, like, obviously, like Widowmakers and corrosion, continuous effects, stuff like that. But
Yeah, you also get more attacks.
you do get more attacks.
Yeah, what are the
if
better
they
attacks?
get there.
Yeah.
They're moving just as fast as the Bastions.
They are. It's quantity over quality.
No, I know they're moving just as fast. I'm saying if they get there and the fact that
Oh,
they're
damage.
going to get picked off, whereas you're more likely to deliver all 5 bastions to combat at least before they probably die.
Well, that's why you use them to screen the bastions.
Right.
Oh yeah, just compound that.
Medium base is potentially a bonus, depending on what you're trying to protect behind the bastions.
I don't know. Every time I played that
Can
list,
also
I
be
love
a
that enemy
negative.
can't do shit.
Correct. It really depends on the list. Alright, so probably we never recommend taking the Galleon with Menoth. We do recommend taking Galleon with Cygnar. We do recommend taking the Galleon in Mercenaries. Would you ever put the Galleon on Gaston in Mercenaries other than with the Dwarf Casters?
I would.
Maybe with Magnus.
Magnus?
Snipe.
He does work.
The traitor.
He does work for Talion, so maybe you could play like Shay Pirates and have the Galleon powered by Gaston,
Yeah.
and that way Shay can do whatever he wants with his focus because Shay really is focus hungry.
That's all good.
The problem is you have to break Pirate's Life tier, which is 5 free points, and like +2 deployment stuff, +1
And
to
you
go
have to take
first.
another Warjack.
Well, you're playing Talion, so you already get the +1 to go first.
Well, I'm considering the idea of whether
You
or
can
not
take a free
on either of the
booter and be
Magnuses, if it's just great for him to not have to use his focus to fuel the. I mean, it's just that makes sense. Well, I mean, you don't want him on Magnus.
Well,
too,
all it
because
is
of mobility.
that the Galleon is only ever going to get like 2 focus, is what that means.
Hmm.
I mean, just keep an open mind. Some people might forget that. They
I
always
mean, yeah,
assume.
it's a potential way of giving them +6 to range.
Right. Because I just don't think a lot of people think about taking Gaston in Mercenaries to take a Galleon. Like,
Right.
you think about, like, I'm going to take, like, you know, Durgan Galleon, and I need Gaston for that, but they don't consider just using it as a focus battery.
Well, the reason I think with Magnus the Traitor is mainly because his feat does nothing for it.
Right, so there's no, you don't
Yeah.
need it to be in your battle group. There's a lot of casters in Mercenaries that don't need it to be in their battle group.
And Magnus is kind of starved for focus anyway, so
Mhm.
having that 4 extra focus possibly.
McBain, obviously you wouldn't because he wants to jackhammer the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
But,
I love McBain.
alright, well, I think we've talked pretty much to death about Mercenary Colossals. Thor's not overpowered at all. We agreed.
Soon we'll be able to do battle engines.
Soon.
Battle
So,
engines?
when the Dwarf Battle Engine is a transport,
It's not.
I'm going to give you a crow and you have to eat it.
I've eaten crow before.
Okay.
It's never. Gonna
But
be a
this one's going to have feathers on it.
I'll pull them off.
Would you eat Giviak?
I have no idea what that is.
You don't know what that is? Oh, okay. Giviak. Do you know what Giviak is?
It's a form of bird.
Do you know what the meal Giviak is?
No.
Okay. So the Alaskans,
God damn it, he's gonna tell us something.
for some reason, had this great idea of let's go kill a seal with a bat, cut it open, and take 20 to 50 of these Giviak birds and shove them inside of it. And then we're going to sew it up and bury it. They bury it for at least 6 months until the temperature reaches about 50 degrees outside, which, I'm using air quotes so everyone knows, cooks the meat of the birds. And then you dig it up, cut it open, and you eat the birds whole with feathers.
Yeah, you basically pickle it.
Yeah. So you're eating rotten dead birds covered in seal bladder or blubber
Not really.
I've
that have
eaten your
been
cooking.
buried
Please don't
underground
tell me,
for 6 months.
You don't think that's cooking, right?
Yeah, I've cooked food. That's not cooking.
Oh my
Well, it's
god.
not cooking with heat, Brandon. It's chemically cooking.
That doesn't mean anything.
I understand the
Like
physics.
sushi.
They don't die from it, but I would not. I would choose death over eating that. Probably. It's terrible. All right,
I'm actually pro cannibalism.
that was
I
our
would do
cooking
that.
section for this week.
Next week, we have a drinking section.
Yay!
With Age of Egos.
Age of Egos. All right, this has been Age of Egos.
Age of Egos.
Age of Egos.
And Age of Egos.
Goodbye.
Sorry, Ryan.
Goodbye, Ryan.
We love Ryan.
Ryan's never going to talk to us again. So Ryan didn't know that he was like applying to a competition. He just thought that people were posting pictures of their new stuff. So he was walking by his case, he just takes a snapshot, and he wins the most votes for best looking Trollblood war or battle group. So they put it up on the thing, and he's like, "Oh, thanks guys, I really like that you like my stuff." And so I posted, "Hey, nice looking rock," because I made his rock model.
Right. I know. I was sitting there right next to you. When
Were you? I don't remember.
I remember you, Jeremy.
Why does he have a shit-eating grin on his face when he tells that story?
Brandon? That's his normal shit-eating grin.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, he also did it for cost, so
For what?
we
What
were
we
being
talking
paid to do that.
about? True.
So, whatever.
I was being paid, but for him to paint my models.
Well, yeah.
So I'm getting paid, in models that are apparently the best troll bloods there are.
I've said that more than once.
I'm very tired.
Me too.
Are you?
I am.
How tired are you?
Someone's poisoned the water hole.
Oh shit.
At that point, I just saw the word.
Sheila,
Okay, I'm gonna put this out.
Sheila.
Are we still recording?
What?
I love you.
We're recording right now. Okay.
Fuck salt!
I'm on Facebook right now on the Scorn Facebook page, and Shinken DeMark. It says current work in project, Voltron Ferox. Yep, I'm doing this. He's doing Scorn Ferox in Voltron.
Now, they might be able to get away with that.
Well, since they own the Voltron thing. Oh, they bought the rights to make that Voltron thing?
Yeah.
They who? This is just some random guy that like
No, I mean,
looks like he's
No,
spray
they
painted his
could
models.
produce those models.
This is a
No,
model.
but you could use the Monpoc. It would be legal because it's private press model, right?
It's terrible. They look like shit.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they dropped that game like 10 years ago, but
Wasn't 10 years ago.
when was it?
Like 4?
It's definitely longer than 4 years ago, I would think. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just we quit playing it before then.
I don't know. I never played the damn
Did you ever
game.
see the Monpoc game, Spence? Monster Apocalypse?
It looked better than fucking Dreamblade. What do you know? You drop,
Hammer beats, bro!
you drop tournament support, the game dies.
Yeah. I've never seen so many people so sad that game was dropped. I was like,
It was
it's
like-
a shitty prepaid minis game. I don't even, like, just keep playing it. And they're like, no, there's no point. I'm like, what? Are you having fun playing? He's like, I was. It was the most fun game ever.
Because I
Why
was
did you
making
stop?
like,
Why'd you stop playing it? They're not going to release it anymore. But you're having fun playing it?
well,
Yeah.
I'm having fun making the $8,000 a year.
Yeah.
It's a terrible game.
It was a terrible game. My favorite is that people would just start cutting the miniatures off the base and just use the base. Because that's all you needed. I was like, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Don't paint them to make them look better. Just cut the mini off.
I'm Henry VIII. I am.
Are you?
The 8th I am.
Seems like a terrible decision to be.
Can we go over the non-mercenary options for the Galleon?
We will, yeah.
Yeah, because I think the mercenary ones have been beaten to fucking death.
And by that
Damn
you
it!
mean it's a mercenary model?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryan's paid me, so you can't kneecap him.
Okay. He said he paid you like 6 hours ago.
Oh, well, I just figured that meant he sent it to the wrong PayPal.
Right. Best Chinaman got many dollars today. Thank you much, sir. Best
Jane,
customer
You
number
should
one.
just send.
What are you supposed to be doing?
Dong Chai, Bong Tai, Po Huin.
It's clear that that guy like clearly doesn't speak English and just uses Google Translate.
People are commenting on my status. Here we go. Let's see.
That dog farts more than anything I've ever noticed in the entire
I
universe.
need to change her diet.
Yeah, stop.
Stop feeding her.
Yeah, that tends to fix a lot of the problems like pooping.
She will stop farting if you stop feeding her. That
Yeah.
is a fact.
But if I don't clean her up,
She
she'll
will
smell
eventually
worse.
start smelling, but you know. That's what a bath is for. Well, fine. If we don't want to do mercenaries,
No, we're doing mercenaries.
I mean, we don't have to talk about the Galleon. That's just...
No, Galleon's fine.
No, this is a fine topic. He just thinks that talking about the mercenary casters with the Galleon is pointless because other people do it so much. I disagree.
Well, I was just... Yeah, okay.
Because most people assume that the Galleon is amazing with Bart, and
You know what?
just amazing all the
you know
time.
what'd be a good podcast? And it would take like 6 minutes.
What?
Theme Forces?
Earthbreaker.
We could just... Well, I figure we might as well just cover it since we're doing mercenaries anyway.
Oh, no. All the colossals available to puppet strings.
No.
So, and then we'll do really...
I don't know what's going on.
Puppet strings. It's the newest mercenary...
Puppet Masters.
Puppet Masters.
Puppet Strings is an ability.
Would they get spoiled or something like that?
No, he's making a joke that they don't have one.
Oh. I thought maybe the character unit had it and they got spoiled or something like that.
No.
You can't Jack Marshall.
No.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for talking about the Galleon. 58 boxes.
Does it? I thought I had 52. Is it 53 or 58?
Let's wait until we start the podcast to start counting.
It's definitely not an odd number.
2, 3.
It could be an odd number.
Did I
There
start
are
on the left?
a few Jacks.
I think there's like 2.
That
It
an odd
actually might
number?
only be 1. I don't know if Drago has the extra box
Which
or
one
not.
is this?
Oh, Jax that have an odd number.
Yeah.
Drago has the third Cortex box.
He has a special rule.
So it's just Berserkers, isn't it?
Berserkers have an odd number.
It's Slam Power Attack Revisited.
I think a lot of beasts have an odd number, but Jax
like-
Yeah, but
specifically,
Jax.
yeah. I think Jax specifically, there's like 2 maybe.
It's like Stalkers have an odd number. They're 25.
God, that's weird. They have like 1. No, where's their extra point? How do they have 25? Where like it's just one side has an extra one.
No, I'm talking about Stalkers.
Oh, well, like Warpole Stalkers. Okay, I thought you meant like the Stalker from Crix, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
No, we're going to say words and things and stuff and
I got a message back.
Words,
Brandon's just gonna
things,
sit there and-
stuff.
text. And, sorry, are you sexting, Ryan?
I'm way too drunk right now to be messaging people.
Oh, that's the best.
I
time
just
to be doing
messaged
it.
Adam by mistake. He doesn't know what that means. It's his fault for messaging me first. I blame him.
Alright, so lost episode number 4.
At least Adam's a vet, so he might appreciate the dog picture.
Is he officially a vet now?
Well, he's in training.
Yeah.
I can't believe he shaved his beard. He looks so weird now.
Is it still gone?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, are they both going to be in the same room? Because I have a theory.
That Crump and his brother are the same person.
Yes.
It's like Nemo and Kruger.
They are the same.
Yeah, I've definitely seen them in the same room like 8 times.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure they weren't?
I
were they
played-
next to each other?
I played them both in the same tournament.
That doesn't mean he just.
They were like literally right next to each other.
Are you sure you weren't drunk?
I was not drunk at that tournament.
Are you sure?
Okay,
God, there's
let me actually write down who can take a Galleon, because half these casters fucking can't.
why not?
Osram,
Wait, why can't they?
Because, like,
other guy.
they're like puppet master guys, or they're
other
like
guy.
fucking dwarves.
Taurus can take him.
They can't take Galleon. They cannot take Galleons.
They can still influence one.
Well, but that's not the caster.
Magnus,
It is the
Magnus,
caster.
We can talk about synergies. I'm out of lead for this pencil.
Fiona. Drake.
Well,
Constance
I don't
Blaze.
understand.
Shade.
because-
Damona.
We can talk about
Bark,
synergies with them, but it's different
Well,
than.
then you're talking.
like,
You're
we have
saying
to-
that all the other factions you can take them are just synergies too.
No, I'm just saying that we have to specifically talk about how you're not like which abilities work and which don't. Like I'm separating them so we don't get confused. I'm like, oh, you can do this, and like, oh no, because it's battle group only. That's why I'm making a list.
What's battle group only? She's supposed to.
It's kind of the definition. That's why you eat.
I don't eat
Jane, down.
That's right. You just drink your nutrition.
nutrition.
He just takes what is it? Appetite
down.
suppressants and pre-workout. That's all you do.
And I
Stay.
bathe in the blood of children.
Well,
Lay
yeah.
down.
What else are you gonna do with the tub of blood?
I mean, I can't
Stay.
drink it. It's gross.
Lay down.
Can we start with more shit that Cygnar doesn't fucking need, those assholes?
What's wrong?
I hate Cygnar.
Yeah,
I'll
what
play
they
Cygnar
really
around.
don't need is another electrical jack. How about that?
That's definitely what they need.
I'd rather have fun.
The Puppet Master charter can't take solos, right? They can only take their own solos.
If I owned Haley 2, I might consider playing but I don't.
They can take some Crick solos, but
Okay.
that's the only thing I can think of.
Hello, Facebook. Who said what?
Hi, friend.
But no, I don't think there's any way of taking Gaston.
I don't think there's any way of taking Gaston with what?
Puppet Master.
Puppet, yeah.
You know, I think the Galleon with Gaston would be a great episode.
I think
it'd be over very quickly.
Different
Very
places
sure.
to plug and play.
That doesn't make any sense.
We're going to talk about the places with Gaston because no other factions can take the Galleon without taking Gaston.
Okay.
We're going to start with Ashlyn. She doesn't want him.
Are you sure?
I'm
She
positive.
can protect it by running up and distracting.
That's true. Gallows. Oh,
It was
yeah.
about to get shot off the table.
+2 speed and +2 defense. Hell yeah.
All right.
Can I
So
get a lapel mic so I can sit back like this and be lazy?
If you want, I can
Can I
adjust
buy
the
my
mic
own
there.
lapel mic? What's that?
I can adjust the mic there if you want. It's where you want to sit. Just tell me because
This
it's
is Max.
yeah, if you move
I'm
up close to the mic and yell, then it'll be like
Arms.
destroying of like ear drums.
Do I like Ashlyn with this thing? I do. Because it has gallows. Are there mercenary arc nodes?
No.
Can you hear me?
That's
Magnus
selected.
only.
Does Magnus want that? Calamity, right?
It depends on which one you're talking about.
The only Magnus people play.
Which one are you talking about?
The one people play.
Which one is that?
The good one.
The one in
Which
Scorn.
one is that?
The one with Calamity.
Don't they both work for Scorn?
Yes.
no,
No.
just
It's epic.
Warlord.
L2P.
Well, isn't that one the one without Calamity?
No, that's the one that has
No.
Calamity.
Yeah, it's Calamity.
Oh, it's the Warlord. That's right.
Mobility, Calamity, Convection, Bullet Dodger, and Obliteration.
And armor piercing.
I actually think Magnus 1 is better with the Galleon.
Why?
Because he has Snipe.
Mm-hmm.
Snipe is huge on the Galleon.
Why does the Galleon need extra range?
Because it can shoot wherever the fuck it wants to.
Well,
Like
you
it
can
can-
you could just take it with. Just kidding.
Tell me he's better, I think he is. I'm saying is
What
Galleon with
you
backstab.
can- I'm just saying, Galleon with bullet dodger.
Yes, Galleon with backstab. Yes.
Are there
Probably
any
absolutely
units
right.
with synergies with the Galleon?
Can't block with Cloud Dwarves.
We got the Gobber Mechanic.
Ion and Holt magical weapons.
Uh,
I mean, other than just like pulling things in so you can charge it, which is good. Like hammer doors, you pull something in, they charge it, and you're like, sweet, I win. Success.
gun mages, so you don't have to take Ion and Holt.
Jeremy, is there a better Magnus 1 model? Because the original Magnus 1 model looks terrible.
There is only that one.
That's so bad.
There's Magnus, a Cygnarian Wordcaster.
Does that model look better?
Basically looks like Striker,
Calamity's so expensive for him to cast.
Yeah.
but he has a
3.
pokey spear.
And you probably got to boost to hit.
Yeah, unless you're casting it on like a hammer dwarf.
Tell me I can actually play Magnus.
You can actually play Magnus.
You just have to play Mercenaries.
Do I win?
What mercenary models would I play?
The good ones.
Boomhowlers, Nis, move on.
All the ones that you put
You can take
an attendant priest on.
Gun Mages. Oh, he doesn't work for Highborn.
No.
That's right. Take crows.
But he
Where your
can
crows
get
at?
he can get long gunners
He can get long gunners
In
and
his tier, right?
or trenchers.
Yeah.
And he gets Cygnar jacks
Oh,
in
that
his
was
tier, right?
Rangers.
Defenders and
Huh?
stuff like that?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
in his
Magnus can take all kinds of Cygnar stuff, just not gun mages.
in the bad seeds he can have rangers, along with destroyer. No.
He can take Idrians.
Yeah,
That's weird.
it's the only merc caster that can.
I need to get him so I can actually play my Adrians. So I'm never going to play him with Menoth, apparently.
Mangler Mule, Rover, Nomad, Heavy Warjacks.
Holy fuck, that's a lot of shit. That is so much.
Yeah, they're over there.
I have a throat
Someone grab
lozenge.
those.
Where are they at?
I think they're on the table over there. Jeremy will cut this out because he's so good at editing.
Probably not.
The army includes one or more ranger units.
We're gonna explain this guy
Thank
to
you.
me. I don't understand him at all.
What? Magnus?
Yeah.
What's wrong with Magnus? Read his tier
Magnus
list.
is awesome.
Read his tier list.
Okay.
Renegade.
And then you'll still be confused, but then that's fine.
What, 5-point renegades?
Yeah, you clearly just take 2 renegades, Hail Mary obliterator rockets at their caster until they fall down, and then you snipe the Galleon, calamity their caster, and you walk forward and murder their caster.
Well, no, you're thinking of 2 different Magnuses.
So then, you don't calamity their caster, you just allocate all your focus to Galleons,
Shit, is it
and then you cycle snipe and they kill them.
4-star,
He doesn't
right?
have snipe.
Magnus 1. You don't cast calamity.
Right.
Fucking phone stop going off. No one cares.
It's called airplane mode.
But he's not in an airplane.
But we're all living in a tin
I think
can.
Bullet Dodger's pretty legit on this.
What would you put Bullet Dodger on?
Nis.
I thought you put Snipe on this.
You could. That makes Nis really good. Put Bullet Dodger on Boom Howlers. I guess just be a dick.
I'd put Bullet Dodger on the Galleon.
That's good.
Def 11, man.
That's true.
Takes 6 to
Jeremy,
shoot.
make me a Magnus model. I want him to look good, not like the shitty one.
Why do you
Okay.
want a Magnus model?
I want to play Magnus.
Why?
I like him.
Magnus is awesome.
There you go.
It's the man.
He is a man.
Half.
Long gunners are considered faction, not trenchers.
No, you can have long gunners or trenchers.
It's one of the two.
That's what he said.
Yeah, just ask me.
Or is the key.
Oh my god.
Do I want long gunner? Yeah,
We're-
he
we're-
has snipe. I
Welcome to
can
Learn to Wargame, Defining Words episode.
Spence learns to read.
How to read.
The
Alright.
A sounds like ah.
Are we ready? Everybody good?
No,
I don't know what episode are we doing.
25.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Because we should do 26 actually.
What?
Gotta save 25. It's a big one.
It is.
Maybe. I don't know. Is it?
It's episode 25
That's the
of L2
quarter-
Board Game.
That's the quarter 100 week anniversary.
Thanks,
Although it's already
everybody.
been over 100 weeks because we skip like every other week, I think.
You're bad at math.
All 6 episodes
we
of
haven't
L2
been doing
Board Game.
this show for 2 years, A.
It's 1/4 of 100 weeks,
Shit,
That'd be
do I like
25 weeks.
steelheads?
right? Am I that drunk? Am I missing something?
I don't know if I want steelheads.
How about ears?
That's not bad, actually.
He's still reading the tier list.
Oh no, in tier list.
I don't know what the benefit of the tier list is. What the fuck am I reading right now? Let me see. Ooh, I like trenchers, but they're expensive. Don't I like sen-
I like how the dog is drinking while you're talking about trenchers, because it's the most useful topic ever.
Oh, we're saving this?
Are we? I don't know.
Probably.
Why does it give you rec markers?
So you can get cover.
Yeah.
You run your guys into them for cover.
Until
Despite you having
the
trenchers
Necrotech
that
walks
just
up
throw
and creates
smoke.
scrap trolls out of it. And it's like, boom, your cover's gone, bitch.
I find that very unlikely, based
Yeah,
on where the
steelhead
wreck
cab.
marker is deployed.
Oh shit, steelhead cab would be kind of cool.
What are they wreck markers of?
Whatever you took in your list, I think. Isn't it a wreck marker for each jack you took?
No, it's just rec markers.
No, you just get so many.
Oh. I thought it was like, okay.
I don't think they're classified as anything, otherwise Kangaroo would come and steal their weapons.
I like steelhead. I mean, I like. No, that's your terror. Tell me I should like riflemen more than I do.
You should like Riflemen
Yeah.
more than you do.
I should. Okay.
Combined arms.
I don't think they're that good, but
They're
they're
not that
okay.
impressive. They're okay.
There's better.
With Magnus, can you snipe them? Yeah.
You could bullet dodger them, that puts them to a 15.
Wait, why do people hate crows? Rat 5 is pretty normal across the board.
It's because they're 10 points.
Okay.
They're like one stat lower than you would expect them to be in multiple stats.
But they hit hard as fuck.
It's like, why would you take those over NIS?
I gotcha.
That's really the
I
argument.
can't take NIS in the tier list.
Because NIS don't need stealth, or NIS don't need stealth because they're defense 15. The problem is there's like half the factions ignore stealth, which makes them worthless because they just get murdered.
NIS Hunter.
And the factions that don't ignore stealth, they're solid, but
Right.
they also have terrible armor, so they do die to blast damage.
Mangler. Not as strong as it needs to be.
It's true. It is true. But NIS don't get solved by things that ignore stealth.
I like the Mangler.
Mangler's awesome.
Yeah, for 8 points, it's a solid jack.
And it's still a metal model.
Is it really?
I haven't fucked it up like the Nomad.
Yeah, that's true. Why would you not order a metal Nomad?
Really?
Because I didn't see the message in time that he was ordering privateer press.
Yeah, Jeremy, why are you so mean? I was actually going to wait. I was going to wait and message you tonight, and I was like, he's probably going to put it in like right now because it's Jeremy.
I thought I wasn't
Yeah.
going to have time, actually. So I just quickly
I blame
looked up a couple
him.
things.
You should.
Why would I do?
I don't know.
We were really, really far apart
I don't know how to play as this
when it
caster.
happened.
That's still your fault, Brandon.
Okay.
Tell me
fair.
just rely upon units that are just good on their own, so it doesn't matter what you take.
The thing you just described is not in Mercenaries
I
other
put
than
my
NIS
phone on
hunters.
silent at work, so I can't hear any of that shit.
Sorry.
I didn't really need anything. It's okay.
All right. I think we're ready to start.
So how'd you lose that game last night?
What?
How'd you lose that game last night?
What game last night? I won that game.
Against Trevor?
Yeah, he clocked himself.
I think he had.
And then you played it out and you lost.
Yeah, we played it out. I probably lost. We assumed I lost. We didn't roll dice.
Was he playing that one thing?
He's playing pretty much our Harbinger list, except he dropped the Avengers for some support stuff. What?
So he played
You're staring
Harbinger
at me.
Double Bastions?
Pretty much.
You heard it here first. L2 Wargame, Harby, Double Bastions.
Yeah. First.
It's pretty good when you don't have, like, when you've got an extremely restricted model count list. Like, I only had, like, maybe 20 models that actually were combat-worthy models.
All right. Episode 25, live from Adapticon.
We're not at Adapticon.
Oh, I asked you about that and you don't respond.
You ruined it.
That's true.
Hi, dog. Don't fucking lick my goddamn open skin.
Fine, I'll just have them use
Don't
guys
have
be
open
honest.
skin.
Creepy as fuck.
Don't have.
Don't agree.
The answer is I will probably leave immediately after work on Friday.
Well, my thought is, like, as opposed, like, why don't I just ride with you? So you don't have to go by yourself, and I don't know anything about that fucking area, what I'm doing. And I'm signed up to no venues.
You signed up what?
No events.
You should probably sign up for events.
You can't. Event registration is closed.
Okay.
Probably going just to buy shit and hang out. Yeah, because I don't know what events we're trying to fucking be part of, but I just want to be out there and experience the big fucking swing of things. All those fucking nerds. Prostitutes, right?
I mean, if you want to prostitute, you don't have to go to Chicago. I mean, just being honest.
I don't know, it's a new venue. I may have not found it yet.
Okay.
Yeah, let's get started. Everybody ready? Anybody need some snacks?
Yeah.
On the forums, that's me.
We should all be AG goes on the
HB
forums.
goes on the forums.